Hey, it's James here. If you're not familiar with who we are, we're Matchfit Football and we specialise in strength and conditioning, specifically for youth footballers who are aiming to play at an elite level. In this video, I'm going to explain to you the number one thing that I see in the most successful players that we work with in our training program. Okay, so I'm going to write the word on the board, see if you can figure out what the word is as I write it up. Hopefully you can see my writing. Obviously, you can probably see now that the word, the number one quality that I see our most successful players possess is consistency. And this stood out to me in a big way in a player who has recently achieved quite a big achievement in terms of being called up for an international camp with their country, who's on our training program. And other players who have achieved, similar things and got themselves selected into pro academies and just having really, positive seasons in terms of their personal achievements on the pitch. All of our players are making great progress with their athleticism, because obviously that's what we're helping them with predominantly, is the strength conditioning side, becoming stronger, fitter, faster, more explosive, also helping with the mental mastery side, so the psychology side as well. So all of the players have got that guidance and they're all making improvements in those areas. They're all technically good players as well, because that's one of the minimum requirements of enrolling in the program, is that technically the player is already at a level where they could potentially get into a pro academy setup, and they've played against players at that level and there's no difference technically. It's mainly the strength or the speed or the stamina which is stopping them getting up to that level, or maybe nerves are holding them back when they have a trial, anything like that we can help them with. So the technical ability is very similar amongst the players. They've all got the training guidance which is required to help them become more athletic. So I wondered, is there anything which is also setting apart the players who on the program are achieving, really significant, amazing personal achievements throughout a season, and the players who are just progressing with their athleticism and their performances, but we're not seeing them being called up for international selection, and being pushed up a year group at their pro academy, for example. Is there anything else which sets these players apart? So I went in and I had a look and I found something really interesting. It's a pattern I've noticed for quite a while now, but then with the most recent example of this player who's been called up to an international camp, it really stood out to me of these guys, okay, the ones which are rising to the top, sort of being set apart as the best of the best at their age group. They're also doing something different to the ones who are, training hard. They're not just training hard, they've got another quality as well. So I went into this player's training account. Within our training account, I can see a breakdown of their engagement from the minute they first enrolled in the program. So I can see how consistently they've completed the training sessions that we've laid out, and also their engagement level as well with our coaches. And also on the mindset side as well, I can track that. So I'll go into that a little bit deeper in a minute. So basically with this player, I went in and I looked at his engagement level and his consistency of completing the sessions. And what do you think his consistency level was? His consistency level in terms of completion of sessions from the minute he enrolled, 100%. He had done 100% of the sessions. Every single week, he hadn't missed a session, and that can't be faked because the track will only record the sessions complete once the time has been completed for that session. So we know he's been doing the sessions consistently from that. Also, from tracking his progress with his athleticism in different areas, he's improving. So that's another indication that he must be following the training as well. But this really stood out to me, 100%. He's one of these players who there's never any excuses. He takes action quickly. So the guidance is there. He takes action on it. And also, he just, he doesn't find excuses. He looks for solutions. So every player will have challenges in their schedule, busy schedules, things to juggle. But this players like this, always find a way. They just get it done. There's no excuses. They know it's important. They know it's the thing which is going to help them take their game to the next level, because they're already competing against other players who are technically very good. And it's the strength, speed, power, which is really going to help set them apart, and the mindset side as well. And it's just a case of just putting the work in. And that's actually probably one of the most difficult things. And it's why the players who are able to do this are the ones which naturally rise to the top, because the ones who are at the top are the ones who day in, day out do the right things, even if they're not necessarily the most exciting things to do consistently. They're able to do it. So that is a talent and a quality in itself. Now, to go alongside with that, he's got us, the coaches, keeping him accountable. He's got the variety of training to keep him engaged as well. And he's got the improvements that he's seeing week on week as he's completing the sessions to keep him engaged and motivated. But every player has that. Yet this player has managed to do 100% of the sessions. Other players who have achieved similar things, always, every time I go in, it's between 90 and 100% completion rate for the sessions from the minute they first enrolled. Other players, they might be around a 70% or an 80%, but 100%, I only ever see this in the players who we've got the feedback from that they have achieving, really, really significant things in terms of, like I said, international selection and things of that type of level. So I don't think that is something is just a coincidence. There's got to be something here that all of the players who are achieving, the greatest things in their seasons have this. When I go into their training account, they're able to stay most consistent. So once you've got the guidance that you're looking for, then the most important thing is that's not enough, just having the guidance. You have to take action on it and you have to follow it consistently in order to get the results. Okay, that's what you have to do, and that's what all the best players are doing. Ronaldo, for example, year in, year out, every single day, he's putting the work in. He's not lazing about. He gets it done every day. And look, the career that he's had. Alongside the S&C stuff, another interesting thing that I found. So we have also a mental performance side of the program as well. Okay, and part of this is that we have some, you could call them worksheets, that players will fill out before a match and after a match to help them mentally prepare, set their goals for the game, and then reflect on the match as well. And they can do it before training and after training as well if they're going to be, really committed and want to see a difference. Now, what commonly can happen is some players will do this for a couple of weeks, fill out the sheets for a couple of weeks, and then it kind of starts to peter out. So if we ask for the sheets, they say, oh yeah, not done it for a few weeks, so we'll get it over to you as soon as we can, that sort of thing. Even though they're sticking to the strength and conditioning stuff, really well, their session completion rate is really high in terms of that, that's fine. But also this player had amazing, unwavering consistency with the mental performance aspect of the program as well. So I spoke to one of our coaches who's involved with the mental performance, and he said that this player every single time had sent across his sheets for help and feedback with those mindset sheets. So not only has he been doing 100% of this, he's been doing 100% of the strength and conditioning stuff as well. So again, that is something which we're not teaching the player. We can't give that level of commitment, and hunger and the ability to stay consistent to a player. Part of that is, down to the player, what they do behind closed doors without having to be pressured into doing it. And these are the details, I think, which really separate the best from the rest. Everyone can make progress with the right guidance, but only a few are willing to, put the work in consistently, day in, day out, on an unwavering level, and always look for a way to make sure they just get a tick in that box and complete the session. And if you can do that consistently, I think literally turning up and doing what you need to do consistently is halfway there in terms of, the result that you're looking for. Just turn up and do it. Some players are constantly looking for the next big thing, which they think is going to help them make a breakthrough, when more often than not, it's just getting out there consistently and putting in the work. It obviously helps if they're following a program which is, so they're training smart, not just training for the sake of training. They're training smart, they're following something which is definitely going to help them improve in areas they're looking for help with. So that helps. But outside of that, the consistency is so important, and it's something that I see mainly the highest level players have this. It can't be a coincidence that when I go in, the players who are achieving the most always have a completion rate of between 90 and 100%. So if you can do that, I think that you're halfway there really. You just have to have that ability to stick with something long term and trust the process, most importantly. No matter who you're training with, trust the process. As long as you trust that you've got the right guidance, trust the process, stay consistent with it. Many players will be able to stick with things for a few weeks and they drop out. Fewer players will be able to stick with something over the longer term. You want to be in that group of the fewer players who then, naturally will rise to the top, because all these 1% improvements week in, week out, they start to add up. So if you're a player and you're looking, you're wondering why you're not making the progress that you wish you were making, maybe it's down to something like this. Look at what the players who are achieving the most at your age group are doing, perhaps behind closed doors, and ask yourself, are you doing that? If you'd like help with implementing a strength conditioning training plan and also help the mental side of performance as well, then that's something that me and my team can help with. We work with footballers who are between the age of 9 and 18, so we specialise in youth footballers, helping them become stronger, fitter, faster, more explosive, more injury resilient, and also helping if they have issues with confidence, nerves, anxiety, all of those two aspects there. We add those on to a player who's already technically at a very good level. When we do that, because not many players are focused on this to such a deep level outside of a pro club environment, we can bridge that gap between where they are now and getting into a pro academy and make that step up more seamless for them, so that when they get a chance with a high level team, and often the players in that setup are going to be better athletes and technically very good as well, then they can athletically compete with these players and even excel in their position as well. So that's what we help players with. Added a link below this video with a link to a page with all the details of our program that you can check out. If you feel that resonates with you and that's what you're looking for, then you can fill out an application form and then we can take you through the next steps from there. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I will catch you in the next one.